A huge injury boost is around the corner for Arsenal as Mikel Arteta reveals when Ben White will return from injury. Meanwhile, we find out why young sensation Ethan Nwaneri is not permitted to use the first team changing room. Stay with us to find out more on Now Arsenal. In the hours leading up to the crucial Carabao Cup clash with Newcastle, Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta revealed that one of his star players could be back in action in less than 2 weeks after almost 3 months on the sidelines. Defender Ben White suffered a hamstring injury that required surgery following the Gunners' 1-1 draw with Chelsea at Stamford Bridge on 10th of November and is yet to return to action after a lengthy rehabilitation period. But now, as Arsenal prepare for the business end of the 2024-25 campaign, the right-back, who can also operate at centre-back, is reportedly close to a return and could be back in action for Arsenal in just 10 days' time. Arteta's side travelled to the northeast to take on Newcastle United in the second leg of their Carabao Cup semi-final, where they must come from 2 goals down to book a place in next month's final at Wembley, where they could face either league leaders Liverpool or bitter rivals Tottenham Hotspur. After this game, however, Arsenal will enjoy a lengthy break before taking on Leicester City in the Premier League on 15th of February, and the Gunners are expected to travel to Dubai for a warm weather training camp as they did last season. Speaking ahead of the Newcastle clash, Mikel Arteta confirmed that he hopes White will be fit enough to face Leicester City after the Dubai break. Ben is still out. Hopefully after the break he will be available. In White's absence, Arteta has opted to play Jurrien Timber at right back, and the Dutchman had impressed fans with his performances, particularly when linking up with Bukayo Saka before the winger's injury in December. However, the Dutchman's anterior cruciate ligament injury in his first season with Arsenal and various knocks and minor problems since have meant that his minutes have been managed at times, leading Arteta to experiment with Thomas Partey in the role with far less success. Aside from the good news regarding the versatile defender White, Arteta also acknowledged the club's frustration after failing to bring in a new striker in the January transfer window, but remained confident in the attacking options at his disposal. With Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Jesus injured, the Gunners were expected to strengthen their front line and were heavily linked with Ollie Watkins, Matthias Tell and Benjamin Sesko. A late move for Alvaro Morata was also reported, but a deal failed to materialise. Speaking ahead of Arsenal's Carabao Cup semi-final replay against Newcastle, Mikel Arteta declined to elaborate on why those details fell through, but stressed the club's commitment to signing only the right profile of players. We had a clear intention, which is always when a window opens, to explore opportunities to improve our squad, Arteta said. With players injured, we've been impacted and we haven't achieved it. We are disappointed in that sense, but we're also very aware that we only want to bring in certain kinds of players and we have to be very disciplined with that as well. He continued, when you try your best, share the same intentions and still don't achieve it, there are things to learn from, but you have to move on. That was an important piece in the moment, but now we've moved on. With no new signings on the horizon, Arteta will have to rely on Kai Havertz as Arsenal's main striker in the coming months. The Germany international, who's been criticised for his inconsistent finishing, scored his 15th goal of the season in last weekend's 5-1 win over Manchester City. Despite missing several chances, Havertz proved his worth with a selfless display against the reigning champions. The Champions League winner with Chelsea has been a near ever-present for Arsenal during a relentless schedule that has seen them play every 3 days since December. However, Arteta insists he has alternative options should Havertz be unavailable, although playing others in a central role may require tactical adjustments. We're going to have to be flexible in the front line. The players we have need to stay fit and contribute. Sterling has played in that position. Ethan Nwaneri can play in that position. Martinelli as well. And having mentioned the young starlet Nwaneri, did you know that he is not allowed to change in the first team dressing room because of his age? The 17-year-old wide midfielder is becoming increasingly important to the team, and last week he added 2 more fabulous performances to his tally. First came the 2-1 win over Girona in the last round of the Champions League, followed by the 5-1 thrashing of Man City at the Emirates. Nwaneri scored in both games for the Gunners. However, despite becoming the youngest player in Arsenal's history when he made his debut at the age of 15, Nwaneri is still not allowed in the first team dressing room on match days because he is still under the age of 18. Miles Lewis-Skelly, the second youngest player in the current squad, on the other hand, is allowed to use the senior dressing room. When you see those two walking next to each other, talking to each other, there is a bond there and a chemistry, Arteta said. I imagine for them it is special because at the moment they are still in different dressing rooms. Ethan cannot be in our dressing room still, which is unbelievable. He needs to get dressed somewhere else, even on match day. So to have somebody close to him that has that trust, that confidence, that link, I think it is lucky. They are very lucky to have each other. And on a different note, have you ever wondered if a player from the current squad could make the invincible squad from the 2003-04 season? Well, Arsenal legend Robert Pires thinks so. The 2003-04 season will go down as the best Premier League campaign in Arsenal's history. But if you look a little bit more closely, there have actually been a couple of seasons that have surpassed the 2003-04 in one way or another. Take last season, 2023-24, for example. Last term, Arsenal scored a staggering 18 more goals than the Invincibles, 91-73. And after being invited to talk about their current title chances, Robert Pires was asked to create a combined 11 of starting players from the 2004 Arsenal team and the current group. The Frenchman chose just 3 of Mikel Arteta's current players, which is unsurprising given the difference in the major honours won. The Arsenal legend named Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli and William Saliba alongside the likes of Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira and Dennis Bergkamp. Surprisingly, Robert Pires picked the 2 current wingers ahead of himself and Freddie Ljungberg. Pires had scored 84 goals in his Premier League career, while Saka has 67 and Martinelli 48. It was a humble choice by the Arsenal legend to leave himself out. However, Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli will no doubt be grateful for Pires' kind words as the Gunners prepare for a big second half of the season. And with all that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe to Now Arsenal and check more information on our media channels. That's the NowArsenal.com website and our socials across Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and you can find their links in the description below. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video when we bring you more news on Arsenal Football Club.